Shalom, this is Sophia, the American Mariam, and we are here with a video about the Lionsgate Portal 2023. This is, from all indications, going to be a very, very important portal that's opening. And so I thought I would dig into the astrotarography and see what information we could get from there. So first, let's show you the, oh, this is from 2022, and we'll show you, I'll point out a couple things before we actually go through the tarography of it. Trying to open up a different thing here so I don't have to be digging all around. Okay, great. All right, so these are the actual placements for the 2023 portal. So I just used 6 a.m. And at first I was like, well, I'm not really sure why I'm using 6 a.m. I could use, 3 or 1 p.m. or 8 p.m. to align with the planetary hours for the day. However, I'm basically saying that if you're going to look into the astrology for this day, it is probably in your best interest to use 6 p.m. because I believe this portal opens at 15 degrees of Leo. And that's the indication we're looking for the portal to open, for it to be at 15 degrees of Leo and for it to be in the first house. Now, why do I say that? This is 6 a.m. August 8th last year, and it's at 15 degrees. Leo is at 15 degrees in the first house. So that's pretty indicative of what we're looking for here. And remember last year, while we're looking at this chart, we had that epic, never before seen on the planets alignment of the north and south node with Uranus. And I do have a video on Uranus from last year that goes into detail about, that particular alignment. So this year we don't have that alignment, of course, because it was literally once in a lifetime. And we do have some things I do want to point out. Of course, I haven't done any like astrology videos in a while because I usually reveal too much information. But I do want to point out that Neptune and the nodes are both at 27 degrees, which is unbelievable. And I do believe on the 28th of July or 29th, something like that, Mercury is also going to be at this 27 degree mark. So this energy in this chart, as you can see, it's hold over to the 8th for the opening of this portal. Then you have Pluto at a very, very close, a close quarter at 28 degrees. And what's also interesting about this portal, you have the sun at 15 degrees and the moon at 15 degrees. Let me see if that's for last year too. You have the sun at 15 degrees. The moon is not at 24 degrees. So that's why this is going to be a stronger portal than usual, because you have both the sun and the moon at 15 degrees. All right. One is in Taurus and one is in Leo. So that's like earth and fire. Anyway, you make of that what you will. I'm not going to get into that. Not in this video. We're going to talk about the tarography. Trying to see if I see anything else. You do have Uranus and Venus very, very tight. 22 and 23 degrees. And you have your part of fortune and Saturn very tight, 4 and 5 degrees. There's a lot of things that are real tight together. Mars and Chiron are both, the 17 and 19 degrees. Then you have the moon and Jupiter, 14 and 15. Then you have this Mercury over here at 12. So you've got, 12, 14, 15 twice. I mean, these are all very, very close. These planets aren't, and even on the chart, they're not as spread out. These are more spread out. See, 2022, things were more spread out. These are definitely a little bit tighter. Things are much closer together than they were last year. So I thought I'd point that out. All right, so let's get to the astrotarography. So again, for those who have not seen my introductory video on this, I will briefly explain this. So the astrotarography is the combining of the astrology for this day, for this placement, whatever, with the tarot cards that are describe the different decans. And as I have mentioned previously, I do have a tarot spiral, which you can find on my community posts that describe how what these actual placements line up with, so you can reverse decipher this chart. This is not gate kept information. You can reverse decipher this chart. Now I am going to at some point do some like classes or whatever on it, but for right now I'm just trying to get an understanding of how these things work, what energies are coming in, and so on and so forth. So I just placed this over my tree of life because this is the portal opens, and then we move forward into the next portal. And as you guess, this is a portal that opens every year. It's just that this year the portal opening is a little bit different because you have the sun and the moon basically at the same degree, which is on this chart they're both 5, 15. That's crazy. They're both at 15 degrees, right? And this is 5 6 5 6. So it's this 5 and 1, 5 and 1. So 15, 5 and 1. That's unbelievable. Just before we even get into the whole thing. So this chart will correlate with itself. It's wow, that's crazy, y'all. I'm telling you, this stuff is more and more amazing every time I do it. So let's start with our south node, because as I have also previously mentioned, when you come out the gate, you got a couple days where maybe it's not so much going on, and then you go right into your south node energy. You got to deal with that part first. All right, so the south node is 4 of swords, and also the south node, as I have also mentioned before, I keep it in reverse because it's the one that's touching the planet. So we're an upside down world. Of course, everyone pretty much knows that, and so that one will be upside down. What we're trying to do is get ourselves right side up, and this pictogram is a way of us energetically climbing the tree of life, right? Okay, so we start with the south node, which is 4 swords in reverse. So standstill, difficulties, exclusion. So it may seem like things are not moving. It's going to be a very, but it's in reverse. So upright, it will be rest, relaxation, and being patient. So what we want to do in order to, it's going to look like things aren't moving, okay? Like when this portal opens, everybody's like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh my gosh, we don't know. And it's basically going to look like nothing is happening. So it is up to you to use this time for rest, relaxation, and to be patient. This is why it would be, if you're not going to do the 40-day fast with us, which is fine, I do suggest, it's not 40 days either, I'm sorry. It's for a season. It's from the cross quarter holiday to the equinox. So it's a little bit more than 40 days, like 50 some days or something, because we're following the wheel of the year calendar, and not something less arbitrary, okay? Like dates. Now the dates the dates correspond, but we're not following the dates. We're following the sun. You know what I mean? And so, again, the best thing to do at this time would just to be patient, rest, relax, and be patient. Okay, that's the only way to mitigate the energy that's going to be coming in, which is going to make you feel like things are at a standstill and that there's difficulties. It's not at a standstill. There's no difficulties. You just have to rest. You have to be patient. You have to allow the system to play itself out. Okay. So the next placement is Saturn, which is at 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is learning, hard work, and beginning. So basically, once you have this relaxation, and you'll start to this beginning where you're going to be rebuilding yourself, right? And that makes sense. That makes sense. That's the energy. Now, the thing I don't know, which I do know about personal placements when I do this, is that I'm not really sure if this follows the same path of 36 days per card. I'm not really sure. It I would assume that it's a little bit more fluid than that. It could be less time, it could be more time, and it could move with the sun. I don't know. So we'll have to track the energy and see what's going on, which is why I'm sharing it. So again, when things go on, you can refer back and see, well, is this in this chart? Which timeline are we on? Now, if I could get through this reading, I would tend to think that this is the timeline that we're actually on, for the simple fact that we know over here that we are not going into Aquarius, or whatever we're going into, or we're in Leo, and we've been in the energy of Leo since 1992, I'm sorry. So since that, on that particular timeline, this Lionsgate portal is even more important, because the line, it's like the renewing of that energy coming in from that particular portal, that really started to affect us in 1992. And so at some point I'll go back and do the research and see if you can see this in the actual planetary alignments from them. So I do want to throw that out there. But so basically what I'm going to say is, I'm going to assume that this follows the same path. So for the first 36 days or so after this portal, it's going to look like things are at a standstill, and you're going to need to just be patient. Sit back and relax and wait for things to come. And then the next 36 days will be into the Saturn energy, which is the rebuilding will really begin. Following that, we have Earth, which some people call the part of fortune. I call Earth because it is, what affects you here. It's based on the placement of the Earth. And so that's a major arcana card, and it's the Hermit. And so this is Journey Towards Secrets Revealed, Willful Intelligence, Enlightenment, The Inner Path, and a Pilgrim. So basically that tells me that you're going to start this new beginning. You're going to get a little bit of a foundation built, and then you're going to have to venture off by yourself into the next phase. And you're going to have like a personal rebuilding. So maybe like the Saturn time period will be a collective rebuilding, and then the Virgo time period, the Earth time period, will be a personal rebuilding. This is you journeying towards secrets revealed, willful intelligence. You on your personal journey towards enlightenment. The next energy coming up is Mars, which is in this Nine of Cups energy. And the Nine of Cups is dreams, enjoyment, and happiness. So this makes sense. So basically you have 30 days where you're going to have 36 days where you're going to have to just chill out, hold on. Then you'll start to get this, you'll feel this collective rebuilding coming in. And then you'll have your personal rebuilding that will come in even stronger into this Earth. And then you'll have your dreams, enjoyment, and happiness. So this is about 4 months into this portal. It's going to be a little bit, I don't know. I won't say that it's going to be bad, but it's going to be like, it's going to seem like there's not much movement. I would say, it's going to look like it's not much movement. And then we'll get to this Jupiter energy, which is in Taurus, which is movement because the guy is on the horse. And that's also a 5. Golly. So we have the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and we have the 5 of Wands twice. 5 of Wands twice, and then the 5 of Cups. That is interesting. Okay, so let's look at this 5 of Wands. And that's not 5, that's 6. 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups. I'm sorry. We have the 6 of Wands twice, and we have the 6 of Cups twice. We also have this 9 of Cups twice. So, 1. So we have 2 6 of Wands, 2 9 of Cups. That's quite interesting. There's no 3 on the board, but there's no 3. Okay, the Wands energy. I'm sorry, I got distracted. 6 of Wands. So this 6 of Wands is victory, success, and good news. And so then we'll have, after we, this 9 of Cups energy comes in, then we'll have this good news energy coming in. Like, this card reminds me of Yeshua riding into the town with the like on Palm Sunday with the branches, right? And except in this story, there's not going to be a crucifixion. We see no crucifixion in the story, which is why I implore people to choose this timeline over the Aquarius timeline, because this timeline is going to bring you into the abundance. And you do have to make a conscious choice to be on this timeline as opposed to the Aquarius timeline, right? And so the next energy that's coming in is this Six of Cups. Six of Cups. Six of Cups is romance, love, and nostalgia. So this is good, people, for those people who are looking for, the love in something, this will come in with this sun energy and this Six of Cups and the helping hand of another person actually passing, something to you as opposed to the Most High. In these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in these first 5 cards, there's no one there. It's just you by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you against you. But then when you get into the sun energy, it's like you get to actually interact with someone else. It'll be more heavy into the interaction and working together in collaborative efforts, right? After you ride into town, you'll be riding into town and into the presence of people who you can actually physically work with. So the next card, we have our double portion here of the Nine of Cups, and that is again dreams, enjoyment, and happiness. So basically, you have this energy where you get your dreams, enjoyment, and happiness. Then you get to ride into town and show it off. And then you get to hook up with some other people. And then you get another dose of dreams, enjoyment, and happiness, which is good. And then the next energy is Venus, which is in Leo. And that is the, what is that, Eight of Cups? Seven of Cups, I'm sorry. And that's warning, hope, and choices. So then you'll have a choice to make, right? You have to, make the best choice that you can with the information that you've gathered up to this point. And what you don't want to do is, with all of this positive energy, do not choose negativity in that time period. You really want to choose positivity, because things have been basically so good up to that point. You could feel like, oh, this is too good to be true. And it's just not. It's not too good to be true. It's exactly what you ask for. And don't, at this time, when we get in that time period, choose to say that, oh no, this is too good to be true. This is not really for me, whatever, when it is. Because right after that, we go back into another dose of this Seven of Wands energy. Six of Wands energy. I don't know why I can't ever get the numbers right. It's just me. We go back into this Six of Wands energy, which is victory, success, and good news. So, you make good choices. You feel good during that time period. You feel like what you're doing is right and you deserve it. You go right into another dose of victory, another dose of success, another dose of good news. And then, leading up to the portal next year, we'll be into this Fool energy, which is a new beginning. Literally, new beginning. Start of journey, the unexpected, a young person. We'll go into this fresh new beginning. And so if you know anything about the nodes, this is going to be like 18 months. For 18 months, the death is going to be so minimal. All you have to do is hold on. You know what I mean? The South Node will change, a few times in this 18 months. But by next year, it'll be, it goes backwards. Okay, that's right. The South Node goes backwards. So, yeah, it'll be, next year will be basically be in this energy or similar energy. But, this North Node is going to stay like this for the whole 18 months. And so, again, I just mentioned this to say that if you need a reset, you want to reset to the most positive position you can. So if you have to hit the reset to the Fool energy in this time. Reset to, okay, this is a new beginning, and give yourself a new beginning. You don't want to reset into your South Node. If you have to reset anywhere, go into Hermit mode. Reset at that point. Because at least you know from hermit mode, you go into expansion, you go into victory, you go into sharing, you go back into expansion, you have these choices, So if you feel like, something is coming up during this year and it feels overwhelming, it's best to reset into this Virgo, this hermit mode. Just go into hermit mode, get yourself back into the right vibration, the right frequency, and then you'll be able to come out of that and go, pick back up where everyone else is. And that's how I would suggest using this energy. And so I hope this has been helpful. Of course, there'll be more videos about the actual fast, but I would say that the purpose of this, if you fast with us or if you just fast on this day, is to align with this energy, because your chart, my personal chart is not this optimistic. So I would much rather, as a person, be on this timeline than to be on my personal timeline. This is a timeline we have access to. So I am going to consciously choose to jump into this timeline. Now, like I said, I haven't really worked all of this out yet, how this actually works, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking into that, and as I get more information, I'll share it. But yeah, I would much rather be on this timeline than the timeline available to me, my natural flow of timeline. I don't like, me personally, my timeline is a lot of pain and suffering. I would much rather be tapped into this timeline. So that's a conscious decision I'm going to make and figure out how to do, and then I will let you all know what I come up with, because this right here is much better. This is much better for me personally. So I'm going with that. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and of course we'll do more videos talking about the astrotarography. As I've mentioned, these readings are not publicly available for people yet, and I will let you know once they are. There's some stuff I need to take care of before I start doing this kind of stuff, because it's very in depth and it takes a lot of energy, and I don't want to underprice really the value of these readings. So just give me a little bit longer and we'll tap into it. So hopefully this is helpful to everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.